Welcome back to Permanent Detour. We've been away for a little while.
It's still our shortest break yet. Two
Yep.
months is nothing compared to
Hey,
our
less than 2 months, a
two
month and a half.
two years.
Yeah, a little bit less than 2 years, but it's just busy time of year with Thanksgiving and the holidays and all that. But we're happy to be back.
Yeah, we had to take a break. We're really busy.
Yeah, we're so busy, but a lot of things have happened in the 2 months we've been gone.
That's true. First and foremost being Halo Infinite. The campaign finally came out.
Yes. Now, let's preface this with Halo is probably our personal favorite shooter series, but one of my personal favorite series of all time.
It's definitely been mine forever.
Halo Reach was the first game I really ever played to any sort of that's the first game I really got into when I was 10, 11.
Yeah, I started out with Halo 3, and then I played Reach, and then I went back and played every game because I loved it. And now we've reached an age where Halo's kind of coming back after a couple of bad years, I'd say, with Halo 4 being so-so, and then Halo 5 being much, much worse.
Yeah, can you believe it's been 6 years since Halo 5? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, Master Chief Collection is kind of what kept the franchise alive.
Yes, Master Chief Collection, well, when it launched, it wasn't exactly
Yeah, well,
in the best
Master
state,
Chief Collection's
but
older than Halo 5, isn't it?
I think a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
But now that game is excellent, a must-have if
Oh,
you have
yeah.
an Xbox.
Plus, it's on Game Pass. Plus, Halo Infinite's on Game Pass. You can literally play the best games for, what, $15 a month?
Yeah. I mean, non-sponsored. It's a really good deal, but let's talk more about Halo Infinite.
All right, well, what are your thoughts on the campaign?
Well, let's touch on the multiplayer real quick before we move into campaign, because that released earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you haven't played it by now, play it. It's free.
Yeah, the
it's
multiplayer's free.
it's literally free.
Even if you don't have Game Pass, it's just free, which is interesting because I think that's how they're trying to differentiate themselves from Vanguard and Battlefield 2042, which both launched to not the best reception.
What do you mean? Those games launched like a month ago and they're already on sale. Nobody's playing them.
Yeah, I think Vanguard is just there are a ton of development issues and it just being a standard COD game. I feel like
Don't defend them. These big companies are trying to sell us an unfinished
oh no, I'm not
game.
defending them. It's just it's a thing. The same thing with Battlefield. Is every single Battlefield since Battlefield 4 was launched in a terrible state.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Battlefield 1 did. I played Battlefield 1 at
It was
launch.
still kind of glitchy at the
It
beginning.
was weird, but it wasn't as bad as this current game.
They removed so many features in this new game. There's a list of features online
Yep.
of 100 things from previous Battlefields are just absent from 2042.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And to be fair, this is my main criticism of Halo Infinite's multiplayer. Is just what's there is great, but there's so many things from previous Halos that are now just gone.
Yeah, I feel like we should have a little bit more. But on the bright side, it's free. At least the multiplayer, it's free, so you don't lose $60 as if you bought Vanguard. There's no way to get Vanguard for free. You have to pay $60 for it, and I didn't pay $60 for it. I haven't played it. I've watched gameplay, and I don't intend to buy it.
Yeah, I'm not. This is the first time I'm not buying a Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, and this will be a first not buy for me since Black Ops 2,
Bro, was it 2012? So
almost a decade ago.
yeah, almost. That's scary. But it's just I mean, even so, the problem with Halo Infinite's multiplayer being free is that they have the worst, just absolutely garbage customization system.
Yeah, especially being a kid that grew up Reach wasn't the last game to come out. Reach was one of the first ones I played. They really did flounder on the customization in this game. Especially because the first season is Heroes of Reach. Why didn't you just start Master Chief Collection has a direct copy paste Halo Reach customization? Why didn't you just put that in Halo Infinite?
Because you can't make money off that.
Yeah.
They want you to buy they want it to be that if you want any of the cool armor, you have to buy the $20, $10 packs, and even the battle pass, which I got for was $10. Half the Halo Reach armor is just missing. Most of it's just XP boosts or challenge skips, and it's
Yeah.
that's garbage.
Well, no, there's Reach armor in it, but it's what you can get the recon helmet. you can get the EVA stuff, and then everything else is just somebody that one of the campaign members have. Like
Yeah,
one
you
of Noble
basically
Team.
you get like a couple helmets, and then you get like the outfits for the Reach, like for George, Carter, Emil. June.
Those are really cool because they come with custom like armor paint jobs. But also, I don't know. I feel like there was like so much customization in Reach, and they just didn't implement it in the season named after it.
Yeah, and then for like you don't get XP for doing well in a match, which is just dumb. Because even in the Master Chief Collection, you can complete challenges to get more of those credits, but you can also just earn them by playing.
Yeah, you don't get Master Chief Collection is different because you can get it from campaign challenges, firefight challenges, multiplayer,
That's
all
true.
that. But you also get it every time your account levels up. So no matter what game you're playing, if you reach another rank, you get one and you can spend it on any battle pass. In this, it doesn't work that way, which I don't really like. I wish they did just an exact copy of Master Chief Collection because that's the only battle pass that I've like done and actually enjoyed doing it. Like
But
the
yeah, but it
challenges
was
are
also
fun
free.
and you can pick.
Master
Well,
Chief
yeah.
Collection battle passes are all free.
That's true. I'd pay $10 for a battle pass identical to that.
No, it's great, especially in the multiplayer selection is great too because you can just select because in Halo Infinite, I mean they just added the Slayer playlist so you can like do those individually, but you want to do quick play or big team battle, you don't get a choice what game you're getting. So if your challenge is play an oddball match, you better hope you get an oddball match because you can't select it.
Yeah.
And I get it, it like makes it so that there's more people in those like less popular game modes, but
Yeah,
like
but the thing is, the game's free and it's cross-platform. There's a ton of players playing every game mode. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. People will be playing oddball.
I'm okay with waiting 20 more seconds for loading to play an oddball match if I want to play oddball.
Yeah, I don't know, but hopefully that's something that gets fixed in the future. I'm not gonna go super into this, but the weapons a lot of them are pretty lackluster to me.
Yeah, there's some really good ones, some are not so great,
Yeah.
but you know, that's in every shooter. There's always going to be
Yeah,
better
I don't know
weapons than not.
the other Halo games though. There's not weapons that are like a guaranteed, like this, like the power weapons obviously are gonna be good, but like the random spawns, like you could get the Needler or you could get the Disruptor, and like there's a very clear difference between the two of those. Like
Yeah.
the Disruptor is basically unusable unless you want to kill a vehicle, and the Needler is basically a free kills.
I think as the game goes on, though, they'll fix some of the balancing issues with the weapons. And, you know, just to wrap up multiplayer, like, the actual gameplay is excellent. They just have to fix the things surrounding it, like the customization and, like, the selection. Like, I want to see Infected. I want to see King of the Hill. I want to see Team Snipers, 2v2s.
Yeah, I agree.
Which, this is the problem with gaming in general, is that, like, eventually, I'm sure the game will be really good when they add all this stuff in. But the problem is that same thing with Battlefield, happened with Battlefront 2, even No Man's Sky. Like all these games, like they're missing just so much content at launch, and then eventually you'll get the content. We gotta wait a couple years.
But the thing I'll say about Halo is is not a yearly release type thing, and it's got a really strong fan base. Like people were playing Halo 5 last year for some reason.
People are still playing Halo 5.
Yeah, well, that's a big competitive multiplayer scene, I think, but you know, I think people will hang on, and there's not so much content missing from this game that like people are just going to be like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm done." Cuz even though there's not a whole bunch of content, the multiplayer is still consistently fun. They just need to add to it now to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I just, you know, maybe we're too old and cynical now, but I miss the days you get Halo Reach, you get everything. You get everything.
What do you mean too old and cynical? You mean you missed the days when you bought a game and you got the whole game when you put the disc in?
Yep. Well,
Yeah, that's
I guess that's a thing of the past, unfortunately.
yeah, that's the idealism of a game maybe I don't
'Cause
know, 6-7
the
years ago.
customization makes, if you can sell the game half baked and still get the same amount of people buying it, might as well.
Yeah. Well, I think people are finally starting to stand up to the big companies like EA and Activision with the sales not doing so well for
Yeah.
either 2042 or Vanguard, which I
Well, they're still going to sell very well, but let's hope, because that's really the only thing these companies will listen to is money. Like, don't buy these games if you believe in having a complete product. Do not buy these games.
yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing is like I guess it's like they saw what happened with Cyberpunk and they were like, "All right, well, we just can't do that bad then." They were like, "We just need the game to be better than that."
Yeah.
And you know, I'm just gonna throw this in there. Have you played Cyberpunk at all recently?
Nope.
No, they started patching it a little over a year ago, or well over a year ago. It came out last March, didn't it?
No, I think it's almost 2 years old.
Yeah, almost 2 years ago. They made their promises and they were like, "We're gonna start patching it." The game still doesn't function correctly because people gave up on it.
Wasn't a year ago?
I think it's a
No,
year
yeah, a
old.
year ago. It came out a year ago.
Yeah. So a year of patches, and they patched it just back in September. It still isn't functional the way it was meant to be when it came out. And you know what? Games like that, I was excited for that game. Companies should just wait until the game's finished to put it out. I would have rather waited a year and had Cyberpunk be this like blockbuster amazing game that's complete than it launch in the state it did.
Here's the thing. It's just like the Miyamoto quote. It's very famous. A delayed game is eventually good. A rushed game is forever bad.
Yep.
That's a direct quote from him.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I don't know.
Let's hope that some of these companies finally wake up and listen. But now let's move on to the campaign because I think we have a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, well, what are your initial thoughts? I'm a little bit farther than you, and I want to know what you think so far.
Yeah, I'm about, I'd say like a third through, I think. It's probably fair.
I don't know how many missions there are.
And neither do I. But let's talk about the first couple missions that don't take place on the ring. Because I've played the first couple missions, and
Every mission takes place on the ring.
no, the first two take place in space
Oh, that's right.
and on the ships. And just I don't know. I was just like, I booted up, started playing those two missions, and I really liked it. Like it felt like I was playing Halo again.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is about this one, you boot it up and it feels like Halo again. It doesn't feel, I don't know, Halo 4 and 5, it felt off.
Yeah, it's just there's something a little. There's just like everything seemed a little weird. Like the weapons were all slightly different. The graphics and like art direction was completely different, and it felt like more of like a copy of Halo.
Yeah. Well,
This one feels like Halo.
well, no, this feels like Halo being reborn. Like they've gone back to a return to form in not only the art style, which is my favorite part. I'm so happy to have the old Chief back. The new
looks so
armor,
good.
the new armor, just it looked weird. It was like, I don't know. I guess it was because like during the time that Halo 4 came out, there was like this trend where everything had to be like super futuristic and stuff, and they had to take this game that's 100 years ahead of us already and jump it even farther into the future. Like, I don't know. It was weird, and they finally they fixed the way the game looks, and I think that's the biggest thing that contributes to it feeling like Halo again.
I mean, I don't know. I love is it the Slipspace engines, the new engine they created for this game? Because I knew that was like the reason. That was part of the reason it took so long to make this game. Because they made a new gaming engine from scratch, but it looks so good.
It really does, and I play on last gen. I play on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm playing on the Series X. It looks really good.
It looks really good on last gen.
Because that was one of the things that 343 came out and said. They didn't want it to be like Cyberpunk. They wanted to actually run well on last-gen consoles.
Yeah, well, no, because the thing is, a few studios have said that. They just actually followed through on it. Like, it actually looks good, and I haven't had it crash or anything once playing on last gen, so I'm happy with the way it's performing.
No, I think in terms of like how it runs, the campaign, they did a really good job with that. And it's fun to play. Like, all the weapons, like, they seem like Halo. Like, the Forerunner weapons didn't feel like Halo.
No, having just the Sentinel beam back as the Forerunner weapon feels so much better. And the new weapons in the campaign, the shock weapons, actually are more useful. I like the campaign because every weapon can be used, whereas in the multiplayer, it's...
I mean, it's a little easier to balance weapons in PvE anyway.
That's true. But I don't know, it makes me happy to see that, like, you know, you're on the ring again. The campaign is also a return to form where you're there to destroy the ring. You've got the Forerunners that I don't want to spoil, but the Forerunners are back, not in the extent they were in Halo 4, but the way they were more in Halo 1.
Yeah, they play like the outside role, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just like, everything just feels better. And it's just like, the gameplay is just so much fun. Especially the grappling hook. I love it.
The grappling hook is the best feature. It's like Halo Just Cause. It's an open world game, and you run around with the grappling hook. And
yeah, it's like that one mission from Halo 1 where you had to go around and like rescue the Marines.
It's just the whole map, though.
Yeah, exactly, except it's the whole map. And it's like a whole game. And like, I love the sections where you go around, you fight a boss, and then if you kill that boss, you get their like like weapon variant. That's
Oh,
like a
yeah, the unique weapons. Those make the game so much more enjoyable to me because, like, there's the ones you get through the capturing the forward operating bases, where, you know, like, I don't know if you have them yet, but like the upgraded assault rifle and sidekick and the shotgun and all those things, they're actually, they feel like an upgrade. You know, when you use them, you can tell that it's a better version and it's not just a weapon skin. And the same goes for all the Covenant weapons that you, well, not really Covenant, but the banished weapons you can get from the bosses that you kill, like, out in the open world.
yeah. They only have the Covenant weapons for. Or they're not. I guess they're not the Covenant, but you know what I mean. Banished.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that?
In terms of like the Covenant not being in the game.
The Covenant no longer being around.
I mean, it's like the same enemies, so it's like it doesn't like feel any different because you're still fighting like grunts and jackals and brutes and elites.
No. But I mean, story-wise, how do you feel about that?
I'm all right with it because because the whole point is that this game still comes after Halo 5, so they're still like Halo 4 and 5 still happened, so they couldn't just be like, oh, pretend those games don't exist anymore, Covenant back standard, because that wouldn't make any sense. So I think they did the right thing where they kept like the same enemies, but like have a new faction that like is separate. That kind of like broke off from the Covenant, and it just makes logical sense. Like the Prophets lost, so it makes sense that there'd be another like a new faction of the Covenant called the Banished that like doesn't like hates the Prophets because they basically failed, and also like disregards. Basically, they're kind of disregarding what happened. You don't need to play Halo 4 and 5 to understand this game at all.
Yeah, it's very much a standalone. I mean, I played half of Halo 5 and I barely understood it anyway.
I watched the whole thing and I still have no recollection of what happened.
I actually, it's not that I'm all right with it. I really like the Banished.
No, the Banished
because
is cool.
if I recall, for the first time since Halo 2, we fight elites and brutes in the same like combat situations.
We didn't reach 2.
But that, I mean, like in order, Halo 2 was the last time there was like fighting where you could fight brutes and elites. Yeah, but also in Halo Reach, they were very separated. Like you fought the elites in most missions, and then there were a couple missions with brutes, and even in Firefight, the rounds with brutes, there were not elites. In this, it's more of like one big army, and like the grunts are like the ones that kind of follow the brutes around in little squads, and the elites are these like lone fighter things that you have to deal with, and they're a lot harder.
Yeah, because especially like the one aspect that they brought in that is there's just a lot of like aspects updated in this game that like boss fights are a ton of fun. Like you've never really had like a boss fight like this in any other Halo game.
No, the closest thing you could come to is maybe the Guilty Spark fight, but
but that's not the same though.
But that was nothing like it. I mean, Guilty Spark, you basically just shoot him 3 times with the Spartan laser and you win. This is something else. This is like,
I like the variety of boss. Like you have the elite, like with the active camo. Then you have the brutes with like the what is it called? Like it's kind of like the machine gun,
the scrap cannon.
Yeah, and then they also use the Ravager, and it's just like the bosses are like different. And my favorite boss, the worst enemy in the game, the Sniper Jackal.
Oh, they made Sniper Jackals are the worst.
We're playing on heroic for like our first playthrough.
The grown-up difficulty.
Grown-up difficulty. Yeah.
Come on, let's be real here. If you're not 15, you should be playing on heroic.
No, you can't make fun of people who are playing on normal. Just let them enjoy the game.
Yeah. Oh, come on. It's more fun on heroic.
I personally enjoy more on heroic because it's a little more challenging. But like, you can't make some people just want to shoot aliens without ever dying.
That's true. That's fair. All right. Yeah.
So just let people have it.
I don't know.
Just let them run through basically as God and destroy everyone. My favorite thing is the legendary one where it's like if you like select legendary, like little description of it is like, well, we hope you love Sniper Jackals.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, because I think it's basically you're dead, like one-shotted.
On heroic, you can get one-shotted by Sniper Jackals.
Usually it's 2 shots. One shot will destroy your armor.
No. But it's not necessarily one-shotted. But if you're fighting other enemies and you get hit by a Sniper Jackal, you're like instantly dead.
They are the most annoying enemy in the game because I'll just be like, if you don't see it and they see you first, you're dead.
The brute snipers really aren't that frustrating because their reload is really long,
They usually have a skewer anyway.
Yeah, and if they're using the shock rifle, it's not nearly as effective as the sniper jackals are. Plus, like, either way, the what is it? The stalker rifle has the fastest fire rate out of all those. Like, if you get hit once and you live, the second shot is gonna kill you, and they're hard to dodge unless you use the grappling hook to get out of the way.
That's my favorite part about the game, is just like, oh, I'm dying, time to grapple away.
That and the drop shield. The thrust and the threat sensor you might as well just not use.
Yeah, grappling hook's really the only ability you need.
It's
true. The best ability.
Oh, it's easily the best ability. It's the first one I upgraded.
It's so much fun. You've seen like the videos on YouTube of people just like using the grappling hook in creative ways and just like launching themselves across the entire map.
Yes, I saw the one of the guy and he like throws a warthog off the map
and
then he grapples to it and he just flies all the way across the end of the map.
Like, I don't know, it's just, see, you couldn't do that sort of stuff in Halo 4 and 5. You couldn't just like explore and have fun and like do stupid shit like that.
Yeah, the levels were a little more linear, and those also didn't have the I like this one because you go around and you can collect the skulls in the world. Just before this, I collected the skull right by the 2 red hunters.
Oh, dude, the hunters. Though the hunters are interesting in this game.
Okay, but I have to say, I'm not happy. I think it's cool that they upgraded the hunters and made an even harder version.
Yeah, because honestly, it makes sense that they would have armor on their backs that they don't in any other game for some reason.
It's like they finally solved the problem. They're like, hey, this dude just keeps walking behind him and shooting him. Oh, just throw some armor on there. Problem solved.
Yeah, well, that makes sense to shoot off the armor and then kill the hunters. But also now, like, instead of their hand, which is their blaster, instead of just firing one slow shot every couple seconds, they can do rapid fire now. And it makes sense that because they're always in pairs of 2, so if you kill one hunter, the other one will charge at you and is way more aggressive. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
You see your best friend die in the battlefield, you're not going to be like, oh, what a shame. I'll just continue fire slowly. Hopefully Master Chief doesn't come with a shotgun to my back.
No. Oh yeah. I like the enraged hunter mechanic though, that they get aggressive. It's not like a slight difference where like they start shooting more often. They're like right on top of you and they do not let up.
Because I feel like usually in previous Halo games I see hunters and be like, oh, okay, I'll just have to put a little more effort into killing them. If I see a hunter in this game, I'm like, oh shit, like this area is like, the difficulties increased a lot, especially if there's other enemies around them. The only time I've ever experienced that is like Halo Reach with like 8 skulls on.
Yeah, heroic. when we played through it with all those skulls on, it was the hunters were a lot more challenging.
Remember the Pillar of Autumn mission where it was like the 2 hunters in the middle? We were heroic like 8 to 10 skulls on, and we just could not kill the hunters.
Yeah, they're unforgiving, but in this game,
because we had the ammo mod on, so we had like literally no ammo.
Oh yeah, This game, the hunters they're interesting. They're definitely, I'm not gonna say they're harder, but they're definitely like
they're harder.
No,
they definitely are.
No, because either way, you just have to use a different strategy. Like Halo, have you ever fought the hunters in Halo 1?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you can one-shot them with the Magnum on heroic. You can shoot them one time in the back and they die.
Yeah, so they're easier in Halo 1.
No, Halo 1 they're like 100 times easier, but Halo Reach, I'd say they're comparable.
Yeah, but they're only if you're on like heroic with a ton of skulls.
Yeah, no, even on regular heroic, because you know what I have noticed from the hunters? They do not use their melee as much in this.
Yeah, well, only if they're like charging you, they will.
Even when they charge you, they don't really melee.
The difference is that you can like get around them with your grappling hook. So that provides you like more mobility, I guess, but
yeah. Oh, the movement is so smooth in this game. And I think they did like the quote ADS correctly. How you can like it's got like the slight zoom, but it really doesn't affect the weapon that much.
Yeah, I like it. Instead of just pure aiming down sights.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, like Halo 5, like you could put a red dot sight on your assault rifle. Like that was stupid.
No. I like the way they did it in this game.
Like kept Halo. The guns are you get the gun and that's it. And then there's the upgraded versions in the campaign, but that's all you get.
If you really like the original controls, you can switch to them. You
really?
don't have. Yeah, you can switch to the original.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you want zoom to be like pushing the stick, you can still do that. You want grenade to be LT, sure.
And crouch to be the left stick.
Yeah, I mean Halo hasn't been known for having the most fluid controls, but it has its charm.
All right, but to be fair, how often do you use crouch? You know, like in the older games, you don't need to crouch.
You never crouch.
Aim down sights is exclusively for like the sniper rifle and the rocket launcher, or like the DMR. But even the DMR can easily be used without the sight. Like,
I mean, they did a really good job updating the mechanics of Halo to feel more modern, but still feeling like Halo.
yeah. I don't know. I think they got it just right with this game. And
I mean,
I hope
like
they
I have my
continue to
criticisms of 3-4. Lots of criticisms of this company, but I gotta give them credit. They've stuck with the franchise. They could have given up and just put out another
improve.
terrible product, but they've been listening to the fans. They've put a lot of feedback, and I'm a year from now, I think the game is gonna be really excellent.
Well, you do have to you can't give 343 as much criticism, I think, as some people might, because the other thing was 343 got Halo right after Reach was the end of the series. Like, if you look at it, Reach all the way through Halo 3, it is a perfect seamless story, and it has a definitive beginning and end, and that's it.
It's a good complete story.
And then 343 gets it from Microsoft, and Microsoft's like, hey, we want you to do another Halo, and they've got to figure it out. Like, they've got to figure out how to pick up this story that's over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Microsoft just created the studio to make Halo. Like, it didn't exist before then.
No, 343 didn't make games before Halo.
Yeah, so, it took a couple bumps. They weren't just going to magically figure it out perfectly first time, but I think, especially with, because this first season is 6 months, and then we get co-op campaign in May. And I'm curious how they're going to do it, because, again, it's not just like, oh, we'll do the missions. Maybe they'll set it, maybe they'll have it so, like, oh, you can select each mission you want to do, and that'll be co-op.
I hope they have that option, because...
They can do it similar to Far Cry, just join the other's game.
Because, the only problem is, even Far Cry, when you play a story mission, it is much more linear than this. Like, in this, a lot of story missions are done out in the open world. Where, like, the one I'm on now, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like, go to these 3 locations and do a thing, and then that's the mission, like, the whole first part. So they'd have to do it more in a way like Far Cry, where...
Well, I think that's why it was, pushed back anyway, because they couldn't, it's not just like the other Halos where, you can just do a story mission and 2 you can play, because it's open world. It makes it a little more difficult to do a co-op, because also, both people want to, save progress on their campaign if they're playing together.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm wondering if it's something that it might only save for the person who's hosting.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work.
Or if, the Valor points go to both people, your Valor still carries over.
See, this is what I hope. I hope they keep adding stuff to this world, because you have this, great sandbox, this great world. Add more missions. Add more stuff. Maybe do a Flood DLC.
Add a new area.
Yeah, add new areas. Add a Flood DLC. Add a... I don't know, you can just, because I want to see more, environments, add a desert area, add a, maybe, you can't really do a city on a ring, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can have more, I get it, rings are, that's, one of the issues, is that, every environment's the same. It's just, mountains and grass.
Well, in Halo 1, you had desert missions, you had snow missions,
Yeah, add one of the banished ships, go onto it, make that an explorable area, a big banished ship.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or the crashed Infinity, we haven't really gotten to, unless that's in the game, I guess I wouldn't know, but...
Oh no, you can get to the crashed Infinity.
Yeah, can you go inside of it?
There's small parts you can get into, but not much.
The Infinity is, the biggest ship in all of Halo. I want to, go inside of it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Add more environments like that. And
Yeah.
then we get... I think Forge 3 months after a co-op campaign, which I really hope they add Firefight with that too. That seems like a natural thing to add with Forge is Firefight. That's the main thing I feel like is missing from this game is Firefight.
Firefight's only been in a couple Halo games though.
Okay, but it's been the last 2. Not even. I mean, Halo 4 had the Spartan Ops, which is very similar.
No.
It was just a linear.
It was not
Firefight.
No, even the Halo 5's version of Firefight was not really like Firefight. Because the only 2 that are true, Firefight game modes are Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach. Both of those are over 10 years old. Truth be told, we might not see Firefight. I hope we do, but we might not.
Honestly, just take a section of the campaign map, make it Firefight. It cannot be that difficult. Or at the very least, let people make them with Forge. Hopefully, if not, people will make their own Firefight maps and Forge you can play them.
That would be cool. I'd really like if you could do forgeable Firefight.
Because I've heard the custom games basically don't work.
Ooh.
Is that they basically because like obviously they're gonna focus more on campaign multiplayer. That custom games kind of left to the side. Like they're still there. Like half the time they'll either crash or you can't save any of your custom. Like you have all these settings, you can't like you have issues like saving them.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so hopefully they can fix that. But there's a lot of exciting stuff in 2022 that is coming to this game. It's just I don't know how exactly they're going to implement it. Forgeable AI is a must. It just is. They can't not have it, right?
No, they definitely could not have it.
Like they might not put it in there, but come on,
it's not a need, but it would be a really cool
no,
thing for
it's
them
a
to
need.
throw in.
It has to be in there.
Well,
If they're gonna make us wait an additional 9 months for Forge, you better be putting Forgeable AI in there.
Forgeable AI.
That's like the number one Forge request in the Halo community.
That's true. Well, I'd like to move on, sort of. I hope Halo Infinite is kind of a nudge, a reminder to Microsoft, maybe to as an Xbox player, put out more exclusives, put out good ones, like
this.
Because the thing is, like, I love Xbox because it's the console I grew up with, but like they're getting torn apart by Sony with their exclusives. Like
I mean I think Microsoft's like whole plan is that they're moving away from this because they're focusing on Game Pass and then compatibility with PC.
I know.
Kind of having like an ecosystem because they're gonna do the cloud gaming, where you can play on your phone and stuff.
I don't know. The thing is, though, they own so many studios.
Yeah, they just bought Bethesda.
They just bought Bethesda and Obsidian.
That's why I think that new Starfield game from Bethesda, I think that's going to be Xbox PC exclusive. I don't think it's going to be on PlayStation.
But the thing is, like, these studios that have made such good games, and they haven't put anything out. Like, this is the first Halo game, like you said, in 6 years. And there's no microtransactions in the Master Chief Collection, so, like, it's not really like they're making any money off that. Like, this is it. Like, this is the first time they've put out a game that's exclusive to Xbox and PC now.
Yeah, let's hope this is a continuation. Like, I hope this becomes a trend of, like, releasing better exclusives. And put them on Game Pass, because then people will play them.
Well, a rumor I heard, which I kind of hope so, just to kind of reinvigorate the Xbox community. If the new Elder Scrolls is an exclusive, it could be because they own Bethesda.
They might. I don't know. That would piss a lot of people off, though. If it doesn't come to PlayStation.
That's true, but it's also PC. Like, PC is the biggest market. Does it matter what PlayStation thinks if all of the Xbox players can play it and everyone on PC can play it?
I don't know. That'll be interesting. I'm almost certain that Starfield will be exclusive because it's a new IP. There's no like previous game that was on PlayStation, so I think that they can more easily put that as an exclusive than Elder Scrolls because every other Elder Scrolls is on PlayStation.
No.
Aren't they?
Oblivion isn't. I don't think Morrowind is.
I'm pretty sure Oblivion you could play on the PS2, right?
I don't think so. I thought those were exclusives on the first Xbox.
Is it? I don't think so.
But anyway,
no, it was on PlayStation 3.
Oh, it was on PS3?
I don't think any other... No, none... Because they didn't really have a relationship with Xbox. I don't think any of them are exclusive.
Yeah, well, the thing I'm hoping for, even be it an exclusive or not, Microsoft owns Obsidian and Bethesda. I really want a Fallout New Vegas 2 or a remaster of that game because it's my favorite Fallout game, and like they own the property for it. Why aren't you making it? It's everyone's favorite game. I know you haven't played it, but every Fallout player I've met, that's the best one.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of praise for that game. They might. I mean, I know Obsidian's doing Outer Worlds 2 right now.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really excited for Outer Worlds 2 because I played most of the first one. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't this like, I don't know.
It wasn't revolutionary. It's just like their main like gimmick was that you could kill any character.
It was like Fallout in space.
Yeah, it was a good game. Like it's a good game. If you like original, like if you like Fallout 3 in New Vegas, you'll probably really like Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds was really good, and I don't know. I'd probably for like the gameplay and stuff, I'd probably tie it with Fallout 4, but like Fallout 4 was also more connected. Like there were returning characters and stuff that made it a little more entertaining to me. But I hope they start doing stuff with like Bethesda and Obsidian and making exclusives.
Yeah, Microsoft owns. I think is now after their purchase of Bethesda is the largest gaming company in the world. Like they own the most studios compared to any other.
And they're not putting out exclusives.
Yeah,
They're not putting out games at all.
They did with Rare is they basically made Rare after they bought it from like Banjo-Kazooie. They had them do a bunch of like Kinect games, and then eventually they let them do Sea of Thieves. But like,
yeah,
Microsoft has it's the stereotype that they take a gaming company and then they make them put out bad games.
Yeah, like Sea of Thieves isn't even really that good.
Yeah, it's another case of like, yeah, it launched, it was pretty bad, and now there's a lot more content, but it's like, a lot of times it's too little too late. Like, a couple years down the line.
The other thing is, though, like, there's more content, but, like, how much more? Because still the whole base of it is...
There's enough more that if the game released with the amount of content it has now on release day, like when it originally came out, I think people would have been a lot more accepting of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still a lot of people that play it. It's just that, like,
It has a pretty loyal fan base.
Well, yeah, I play it time to time for like an 8-hour day because it takes 8 hours to do 2 missions. Do you know what the time to beat that game is?
So I'm a pirate legend.
I don't know how you did that.
Yeah, me and my friend, we just grinded that game because there's literally nothing else to play. So we're like, all right, we'll just become pirate legends. We grinded that game.
Maybe one day I'll be as good as you.
I mean, it doesn't really require skill. It's just like, go to the island, get the things, repeat.
Yeah, that's the whole gameplay loop. That's all the game is.
Some of the Tall Tales are actually pretty fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff they added was fun.
Oh, yeah, that actually, all of that was really fun. I really enjoyed it. That was a really good crossover.
I liked doing all that. Oh, yeah, crossover that, like, for some reason wasn't just the whole point of the game. Why didn't they just make a Pirates of the Caribbean game?
Disney wouldn't allow them.
Yeah, but they did eventually.
Yeah. The pirate stuff was actually really great.
And that was, if I recall, that was when they had the most players, too.
Yeah, no, because they added a ton of content with it. It was all free.
Yeah, and it was free content. I don't know. I just feel like, and even that was one of their latest exclusives, and that was how many years ago? 2016?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. That makes me feel so old. There's no way
Dude,
Sea of Thieves is
that game
that
game is at least 4 years old.
No. March 20th, 2018. That's not from
2018. Really?
So
almost 4 years old. Yeah.
4 years.
Okay, I was close.
Almost 4.
Like I can't really think of any good exclusives since then besides Halo Infinite. I want them to put more out there.
They should. But it's all going to be tied to Game Pass now and like that sort of stuff.
Which I'm okay with. But make exclusives, throw them on Game Pass. I'll keep paying for it. I have no problem with that.
Let's take a look at this. Every 2022 Xbox exclusive currently known to be in development. All right. Let's take a look at the list. Where is it? Oh, that might. No. I was one of the ones that... Oh, yeah. Tunic. I have no idea what that is. Oh, it's similar to Zelda. Great.
Oh, hooray. Similar to Zelda.
Crossfire X in the Crossfire franchise. You familiar with that?
I've heard of
Crossfire. That sounds familiar. I don't know what that is, though.
I have no idea. Probably...
Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl.
Oh, maybe that'll be cool. I don't know.
The follow-up to the PC Cult Classic. I don't know. I'm not a PC player. If it's a PC game, I wouldn't know it.
Maybe it'll be good.
Sony obviously has Spider-Man, Last of Us, Horizon, God of War. God of War is like the one that I'm a little jealous of, personally.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that game looks really good.
My best friend has PlayStation, and I've played God of War a few times at his house. Man, it is a nice game. It is so well polished.
Okay, let's be fair. I don't want to like put down like Forza Horizon 5 just came out for Xbox, and it has gotten like amazing reviews.
That's true. I don't like racing games though.
Yeah, like I don't really play racing games, but I've heard like amazing things, and apparently like the game is like really. A lot of people think it should have like been nominated for Game of the Year.
You think? A
lot of people were disappointed because they just threw it in the racing category, basically saying racing games couldn't be on. Because to be fair, a lot of times these award shows would do that. Like this game's in this genre, it couldn't possibly be Game of the Year.
Yeah,
only this certain type of game can be Game of the Year.
Well, I don't know that it's only a certain type of game can, but like
yeah, they usually like it's either like this nice big story game that's like released by Sony, or it's like a little indie game that has like a good message.
I don't know. Well, the thing about like the racing games is like would that really make Game of the Year? Like, because
I've heard really good things about. A bunch of my friends play it.
Okay, I haven't played it, but what more can you do in that game besides driving around?
No, there's a lot more stuff. It's like they have like entire like, because you can like create your own. To be fair, like I haven't really played the game, but like you can get more than just cars in the game.
What else can you get?
I know you can get like houses, and you can like customize like the world in some other ways, and like there's like a lot of other. There's like I don't think it's just like, oh, it's a standard race. You just like I think there's different types of races too.
That's cool. I don't know. I just
Because it's more open world. It's not just like, oh, because the regular Forza games I think are more standard racing. The Horizon ones,
I don't know. There's a no. I think all the Forza Horizon games are
they're all open world.
open world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just that I guess racing games don't appeal that much to me. Like I liked Mario Kart on the Wii. I haven't really had any interest in playing a racing game
Oh,
since
you know
then.
that Xbox Fable? That's a big Xbox exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Fable 4, I think. Because
Is that about to come out, or did that just come out?
No, they released a trailer like the Game Awards like a year or two ago, and there's been like nothing since.
Yes. Just like another great exclusive Gears of War. I haven't played the last 2 games like at all. I just haven't.
I think there's because Gears of War 5 was the last one. I think they're doing a 6th. I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they're working on a 6th one because that is one of the Xbox's more popular franchises.
Oh yeah.
Scorn. Oh, that sounds familiar.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, that's a survival game.
Well, maybe that'll be fun. Maybe it'll be fun like the cult classic 7 Days to Die.
No. Oh yeah, Slime Rancher 2. I'm excited for that.
Slime Rancher's getting a sequel? Yeah, Slime Rancher's not on
Is that an
PlayStation, I don't think.
Is that an exclusive? That game, first Slime Rancher is amazing. Great little like for $5.
Oh
an
yeah,
amazing
$5 game. This is an
Amazing.
advertisement, not a sponsored ad. Play it. It's so good.
It's just like a really relaxing game, and it has like way more story and stuff than you. Not like a story, but it has like way more stuff to do than you'd like first imagine.
Oh yeah, when I first downloaded it, I basically just like goofed around, and then I realized how much stuff there really is to do in it. Like you've got Slime Science, which was fun. That like I started getting into that right around when I went.
It's not. That's going to be an Xbox exclusive, Slime Rancher 2. I'm actually excited for that.
Oh, hey, look at that. Well, maybe we are getting a good
Oh
exclusive
no, they're doing
then.
a sequel to Ark Survival Evolved. Oh no.
Oh no. You remember when I bought that game?
Yeah, we basically would just create characters like with the funny.
Yeah, we'd
like,
just make like super deformed, fucked up characters and then mess around on a raft as them.
Yeah, I mean, you went. I don't even remember the gameplay. I remember they updated the game quite a bit, but I don't know.
It's a survival game, but like I don't know, it's
Oh yeah, the
weird.
sequel to Hellblade, the Saunas. You know the Hellblade one? You seen that? Because I remember the original came out on Xbox, and it was really it got really good reviews. So I mean, there's things coming out. Obviously, like Halo's a staple of Xbox, so I'm not really expecting any franchise of that.
well, I mean Halo launched with the Xbox.
Halo is like the Xbox franchise, so they don't really have anything as large as that. But I mean, Gears of War is probably the second biggest.
Yeah, but now they own all these companies that make games that are as big as
you
that.
you have Elder Scrolls, which is obviously bigger than Halo because it was a cross-platform franchise. So I don't know, like, are they really daring it? Like, that'd be a very controversial move to put Elder Scrolls 6, which is people have been waiting. What? When did Skyrim come out? Like 2013?
Skyrim is like 2011 or 2012.
Like, let's take a look at it. When did Skyrim come out? November 11th, 2011.
Yeah.
People have been waiting. They've already waited. It's been 10 years. I think a couple more years. So they're going to have to wait like, what, 12, 13, 14 years for this game. And if you have a PlayStation 5, you won't be able to play it. I don't know. That's risky.
How?
Here's the thing. I don't know.
It
depends on what Microsoft prioritizes.
Is Microsoft going to lose money from that?
It depends.
Because all their players are going to play it. Everyone on PC is
if
going
they
to have it.
believe that they'll get more, if they believe that the number of people who will get an Xbox and Game Pass will make them more money than the sales from PlayStation, then they might do it.
I mean, there are some die-hard Skyrim fans out there. It's a big fan base of people that still
True. I mean,
love
they might see it as like, hey, you want Skyrim? Just get the Series S. It's only $300.
Yeah.
Or if you have a PC anyway, you won't care. It's definitely coming out on PC. So don't worry
PC
about
players
that.
don't care. They get like every game anyway.
Yeah, they do.
And even if you don't have, PlayStation exclusive games, there's probably some shady backwater site you can get them from.
But that would be a big thing if they make it an Xbox exclusive.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
I honestly don't know. Like, or like the next Fallout, they could. I don't know.
Okay, if they made I don't think Fallout 6 would be, but if they made a spin-off like New Vegas 2 with Obsidian,
I think that would no. If they do an Obsidian Vegas 2, that will almost certainly be Xbox exclusive.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make it an exclusive. And that's the thing, like if Xbox starts getting only the Bethesda games, like if we're the only console that gets it unless you're a PC player, that'll leave PlayStation fans that are like, the diehard Bethesda fans the option of getting a PC or getting an Xbox or not, or choosing to leave that behind.
I think that's why they put the Series S there, because PlayStation you only have like the $500 and $400 versions with the disc or no disc. But I think the reason that Microsoft made the small, like really tiny, still semi-powerful, it's not 4K, but semi-powerful like $300 consoles, because like they want it to be an alternative option to someone who might already have a PC or might already have a PlayStation. Be like, just get the smaller console. Then you can play Halo. Then you can play Fable. Then you can play Gears of War or Skyrim or Fallout, depending on what they put.
Or Forza.
Or Forza, yeah. Like it's small, it's compact, and it's cheap, like relatively cheap compared to.
It's a lot cheaper than the current ones.
That's what I have an Xbox. Like, yeah,
ones.
PC gaming there's like a ton of stuff, like a lot more than like on consoles. But like, I'm not going to buy a really expensive PC.
I don't know. PCs are expensive. I like using controllers.
I guess we're just too ingrained in the console culture.
Yeah, that's what I've always had. It's always been consoles.
Too much of a console sheep to switch over to PC.
I have PC games on my desktop, but they're like all 10-year-old games, like Postal 2 that like can run on a.
Yeah, I used to play. I got when I like on my Mac, which can barely handle PC games, or it's not PC, but like, Macs are not well known for handling gaming, especially mine because I don't have a graphics card in it. But I remember on my old Mac, I got Steam so I could download Subnautica. It didn't run well, but I still enjoyed it.
Dude, on this Mac that I'm using right now, I can barely run Terraria on it.
If you got like the larger Mac that has a graphics card, you probably could run it fine, but.
No, my friend has a desktop Mac that's 3 years old and he can't run Terraria on it.
I don't know if the desktops have a graphics card. It's really all about
his does.
Well, Macs aren't exactly known for gaming, so
I don't know. Maybe it's just a really bad graphics card. I have no idea, but
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Fable 4. This seems to be a big game. I've never played a Fable game.
Me neither.
But apparently, a lot of people have been waiting a long time for this. So.
Well, you know what, listeners? If you're a Fable fan, comment and let us know what all the buzz is about. And with that, I think we're getting pretty close to an hour here.
An hour?
Well, we're at 47 minutes.
We are long. Well, actually, I think our first episode that we deleted was like an hour and a half or something.
That's not still around.
But
that was when we were
longest episode.
Yeah, this was our longest episode so far.
To be fair, we were talking about Halo, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, Halo's something that's near and dear to our hearts.
We could have like a 5-hour conversation about that franchise.
Probably. Maybe if we do a live stream, we could do that if people care that much about Halo. Yeah. But, at that, I'd like to thank anyone who's listened this far for putting up with the longest episode yet. Hopefully we'll be back in another week. The break was temporary. We should be getting into more of a normal schedule now.
Yeah, we'll try to upload a little more consistently.
All right. See you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.